I struggle trying to get my son into some kind of volunteer job or just a job in general to give him some kind of purpose. And it's heartbreaking to see how much they yearn for this in their own way, but nobody will give them the time of day.
That's amazing.
And I want to change that. I'm done. I'm over it. It's time to put it out there that we are paving a new path for these kiddos, and we're going to give them a purpose that they want and let them be a part of society and be themselves while doing it.
Hello, and welcome back to the Oracle on Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Leah Dunlap, and today I have an extra special guest, someone I know for many years who's doing something phenomenal. I'm so glad I get to bring her story to you. Her name is Leann Tristan, and she is with Bridges of Hope Farm Foundation. Leann, I'm so excited to have you here because I know, of course, a lot about your journey and what brought you to become the founder of this amazing organization. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about your journey and, what made you decide to take the leap to create this foundation in the first place?
Well, thanks for having me. First off, I really appreciate you having me. So I was not thinking about a nonprofit or a foundation or anything like that. When I actually came to you and wanted to work with you again because of my past experience with you, I was actually looking into doing something completely different. I actually was wanting to help my friend level up her real estate stuff because I love real estate. It's just one of those passions that I have. And so I was looking more into, helping her with that stuff. And then the more we started working together, and I kind of realized too, I keep running away from the stuff that I know that should be being talked about.
Right. Great.
And
yeah.
so as we started working, I was just like, I really want to do something. I still want to find my place in the world with special needs kiddos, with autistic kiddos, specifically nonverbal kiddos. Because I've always had a passion for that. And so it was something I would do. I remember when we worked together the first time around, I kept telling you, I want to open up some homes because I have that experience of, homes and care homes and things like that. I did that. I worked with, dementia patients and things like that as well. So I had that background experience. And so I kept telling you that, but I never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah.
And it was just so I was just like, okay, well, maybe that's not exactly what I want to do and how I want to step into this world.
Right.
And then one day I stepped out my backyard after we kept having these conversations, and lo and behold, this vision just came alive. It was literally happening right then and there. It was already going. I seen all the animals in my backyard. I seen people and families and kiddos just walking around and petting the animals and playing with the sensory tables and all the other fun things that we had and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's it.
That's it. Yes.
I'm like, and then I, came to you and I'm like, we're going to do a sensory farm.
Yeah.
I even told my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm creating a sensory farm. And he's like, we're going to do what?
Well, I love how you're sharing that idea. Because of course, a lot of the work that we do together and the work I do with my clients is about understanding and really honing in on your vision. So I love that you're sharing, for you, that story where you just suddenly saw it all around you. And I think that's such an important part of making those next steps as a founder, as an entrepreneur. You really have to hold and not only see the vision, but I love what you said, really be in it, really feel it all around you, with all of your senses until it is literally vibrating inside of you to the point that you're like, I'm doing this, that's it. So tell me, as you started on that journey, like you said, you came in wanting to do one thing, and then we had that discussion and you suddenly had your aha. And what was it next? What did it take next to start the ball rolling?
Well, I think it was stepping into my purpose, honestly. I've always felt that I had a purpose on this earth. I was saved for a reason. I just really didn't know what it was. And then as a mom to a special needs child, that's a lot. It's a lot sometimes. And sometimes you're just and you lose yourself in it. And so you're kind of I really just want something of my own. Like, I want something
Right.
of my own. But what I learned coming into the program and, after all of this and working with you again was that is my purpose. And I need to step into it because, there's other families out there that need somebody to have that voice for them and to help them and to let them know that they're not alone.
Yeah. And it's such an important part. Like you said, you had this passion for it, but it's because, of course, you have your own child who's had this experience. I think when we talked about this too, this is an important piece for people to understand. Like, your son is older and you found something, which I think a lot of us don't realize. Like you said, like, yes, we can have our purpose. And sometimes, as long as it leaves clues, we can follow it along.
Yeah.
And if we turn, left when we should have turned right, it might take us a while to get back to it,
Yeah.
but it's always there. Do you think that once you said yes to doing this, did things change for you?
Oh my gosh, my whole world changed. Like my just inside out. It was incredible because for once in my life, I was like, I finally figured out my purpose. I know what I'm supposed to be doing now. I wasn't just here to be a mom for Brennan and to help guide him. And, I was here to help other families and really help guide them into, the unknown
Mm.
the experiences of feeling frustrated and feeling alone. And I get that beautiful opportunity to not only create a safe place for all these kids, but I get to create a place for these families to actually come together and feel safe and to feel heard and to know that they're not alone.
I love it. What if you could tap into the law of attraction with precision and power on your terms? I'm Leah Dunlap, and in my audiobook, Power Up the Law of Attraction, I give you the no-fluff blueprint to create a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. Ready to stop manifesting by accident and start creating with intention? Download Power Up the Law of Attraction now on Audible. Now, back to the show. The point too that I think is important, your child is not a little boy anymore.
Yeah.
And I know that part of this aha moment for you was came through understanding like there wasn't enough resources. And as you're talking about how you're speaking to these other families, it's because you yourself were struggling with how to really bridge that gap. Can you tell us about what that gap is in resources? Because I know a lot of people think, well, kids, they have their special schools, they have all these things. So what happens to, like, when you say your kiddo, we're not talking about a 10, 12, 14-year-old. We're talking about someone who's older.
Yeah, we're talking about a 24-year-old. And
Yeah.
let me just tell you, when they hit the age of 18, you have a whole new world to navigate.
Right.
And literally people stop talking to you.
That's interesting. Tell me more about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell you. They're like, oh, he's 18. He can make his own appointments. He can do this. He can do that. And I'm like, what part of nonverbal autistic child do you not understand?
Right.
I'm like, how is he supposed to make this? He doesn't know how to dial a phone. He doesn't know what to say to you. He doesn't know what he needs, but they will literally stop talking to you. And the resources are extremely limited, extremely limited. And, my son went through some trauma his last year of high school, and he was attacked by a high school teacher, a teacher who should not have been in a classroom with special needs kids at all, not knowing anything about them. And that turned our world upside down. And the sad part about it was all they wanted to do was medicate him. They just wanted to give him medication. There was no, hey, let's find some kind of therapy that will fit his needs to help him trust again. Let's figure out something. No, it was gone. They were just like, here's some medication.
Right.
Oh,
and that wasn't
working.
okay for you.
No,
right?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
No, because I don't think they should be medicated. They're human beings. They are people.
Well, and I think that brings us back to the idea of, like you mentioned earlier, of course, it's the work that we do together and the work that I do with all of my clients is it's about your purpose.
Yeah.
So,
beautiful.
We also talk about like our 3 core values, spiritual values that we use in line with that. What are yours and how do they play a role in understanding why it was so important for you not to have your son fall into that gap?
Oh my gosh. So my core ones, what was it? It was strength, patience. I think it was compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah, compassion. And, Brennan's taught me a lot of all that. The strength that I found within myself to power through, to fight for him throughout his entire life. The patience you have to have with these kiddos and these adults. And I really found that with him. And, you know, I always say if I don't have the patience with him, then I know something's wrong with me and I need to get back into alignment there.
Right. Yeah.
And just compassion for all of the other families out there
Right.
that I know are going through the same similar situations of feeling alone.
Yeah.
Their families feeling torn apart because of autism, not because of the child, not because of the adult. Let's make that clear. It has nothing to do with them. Autism just sucks. Straight up.
There's a truth bomb. Autism just sucks, right?
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that for you, that compassion and that patience, that piece of, and the strength you had, knowing that you had those with you all along. Because I always say, like, your purpose is always with you, right? And you get to use it now to anchor this new foundation and everything you're doing. What is it you hope? Like, what's the vision you have for where this will take not only your son, but other families?
Oh my gosh. I see this amazing farm going on 5 acres.
Nice.
We are going to build this out and we are going to give these families the space that they need to feel like families and feel like people and not be treated as if they're nothing. I actually want to give these kiddos who are nonverbal a job, give them a purpose in life, let them know that they are a part of society. I struggle with that. I struggle trying to get my son into some kind of volunteer job or just a job in general to give him some kind of purpose. And it's heartbreaking to see how much they yearn for this in their own way, but nobody will give them the time of day.
That's amazing.
And I want to change that. I'm done. I'm over it. It's time to put it out there that we are paving a new path for these kiddos, and we're going to give them a purpose that they want and let them be a part of society and be themselves while doing it.
I love it. And, this, of course, our whole podcast is the basis of all the work that we do is to help people live a limitless life of purpose and prosperity. And I know that, as part of that program yourself, you've made these big strides, you made these big changes. You look ahead now and you see this big, vision of this nice big space with all of these wonderful things happening. What do you hope for? What do you hope for your son?
I just hope for my son that he is seen as a person, not as somebody with a disability. I want him to be seen as a person because we're all people and we all have feelings, including them.
Right.
And I just want to see him shine, which I'm so starting to see since we've started this sensory farm, the amount of stuff that I've seen him do now and the excitement that he has. Whereas before he was closed off to everybody, he didn't want nothing to do with anybody. And just by bringing animals onto my property has just opened this huge door for him. And so I look forward to doing that for everybody else as well.
I think that's amazing. So, of course, we also need to find out, like, for you, like, what is this idea? If you were to say, like, for me, living limitless life is X, what would that be for you?
A limitless life for me is living my purpose, what I was put on this earth to do, to just see this farm thriving, and watching it grow and just watching the amount of people that it actually helps is what mine is.
I love that. So, of course, we like to say at this time of the show, this is the opportunity for you to ask the Oracle a question and, of course, to help you get closer to that vision of your limitless life. So I'm curious what you would ask today, what you would ask the Oracle about where you are and where you're going next.
Do you see how long, like the vision of like how long this is going to take me? Like where the funding is going to be flowing in at? Like where should I be concentrating? Because I feel like it might need to come a lot sooner than I was thinking.
I think you're right about sooner. Like the number popped right away, which is you're going to be there in 3 years. This isn't a
I had
10-year
that
plan,
same
right?
feeling.
So the other part of this is like she's like, you're already building the funds right now and you're already starting it, but it's gonna be coming from larger donors to help you read that. And the other number that popped, it kind of bounced right in as well was, this is a $5 million project, right? So these are big donors coming in, but it's gonna be the main donors and everyone else who's hearing what you're doing. So that's the 5, the 10, the $20 donors. Like there's money flowing into this project because of what you've created. And so she wants you to remember like all of those dollars, whether it's the $5 or the $100,000 check, or it's, 50,000 or 20,000, like all of these funds that are coming in are going to be coming in on a regular steady stream once you open to receive that, which I see you're already starting to do now, which is so
Yes.
amazing. So it's like, keep doing what you're doing and be more and more open to those bigger numbers and those larger donations and those larger sponsorships, because people out there want, what you're doing to succeed.
Yeah.
And the families are going to really be your champions. So continue to share your story. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I love it. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't allow you the time to really share how people could find out more about what you're doing and how to stay involved, how to support you, how to send in that $100,000 check, by the way, if you're interested. And tell them a little about your donations, like what you're looking for, how you're looking to partner with people, and what they can do to support you.
Yeah. So we are actually still in the process of getting our nonprofit, which is exciting. We're in the home stretch of that. So you can actually learn more about us by going onto our website. It's bridgesofhopefarm.com. And there you will actually find a spot where it is for donors. And you can actually just click right on there and you can actually sponsor any of our animals, or you can just donate a generous amount of whatever, whether it be $5, $10, $100. We're happy and very grateful for anything that you have to offer. We also have volunteer work as well. So you can go right on there and actually apply to be a volunteer. So if you are in the Buckeye, Arizona area, then we would love to definitely have you. But we are still building this. So we definitely need funds to keep coming in to be able to take care of the animals and to grab a few more animals.
Yeah. Speaking of animals, we had a little fun with naming some ducks. Can you tell us what the duck names were that you ended up getting sponsors for, so they could name the ducks?
Oh, yes. So we did this cute little thing. We ended up with baby ducks. And so I was like trying to be very creative about things. And during one of our sessions, they were like, oh, you should give everybody a chance to name a duck. So I came up with this little catchphrase of name a duck for $20. And everybody was very, very generous and it was so sweet. And so we actually have Oregon, we have Sage, we have Ducky, we have Howard from Howard the Duck. And who else do we have? See, I'm trying to think like who else. Oh, Canary. Canary is the other one. I was like, I know we had
Canary the
another
duck.
one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Canary the duck.
All right. Well, I'm sure that you'll have more fun opportunities for people to join in and participate and support you. And I want to thank you so much, not only for coming on and sharing your journey and your experience, but your incredible, foundation that you're starting. And I know it's going to make such a big difference in the world. So thank you so much for being here, Leann. I'm so grateful that I get to be here and watch you and share this journey with you.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
And for all of you watching, if you want to stay with our journey and continue to watch all these great, inspiring stories, please continue to hit subscribe, follow back, come on back next time. Again, I'm Leah Dunlap. This is Oracle on Purpose podcast. We'll see you next time.